The future of the AFC West Chiefs vs. Chargers 2026 beyond the AFC West is a powder keg, and the Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Chargers are holding the match. For nearly a decade, the Chiefs have ruled the division with an iron grip, winning 9 straight titles behind Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and a knack for clutch performances. But the Chargers, revitalized under Jim Harbaugh, are closing the gap fast, with a gap-fanned roster, a bruising identity, and a star quarterback in Justin Herbert. Los Angeles is no longer just a pesky rival, they're a legitimate threat to dethrone Kansas City in 2026 and beyond. Social media is buzzing with bold takes, from Colin Cowherd and Sean Merriman picking the Chargers to top the division to Chiefs fans scoffing at the idea of their dynasty faltering. So, who's got the edge in this escalating rivalry? Let's dive into the key factors, from players and coaches to schedules and long-term outlooks, to see who will rule the AFC West in 2020. The Chiefs dynasty still the gold standard strength. The Chiefs remain the team to beat, and it starts with Patrick Mahomes. At 30 in 2026, he's in his prime, coming off a 2024 season with 11 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions in his final 5 games. His ability to win games, even when the offense isn't firing on all cylinders, evidenced by close victories over Carolina, 3-0-2-7, and Las Vegas, 1-9-1-7, in 2024, makes Kansas City a perennial contender. Andy Reid's offensive genius and Steve Spagnuolo's aggressive defensive schemes keep the Chiefs adaptable, with a 1-2-5 or 1-1-6 projection for 2025 despite a brutal schedule. Key retentions like linebacker Nick Bolton, right guard Trey Smith, franchise-tagged, and defensive end Charles Omenihu, paired with cap-saving restructures for Mahomes and Chris Jones, give Kansas City stability. The addition of corner Christian Fulton and defensive tackle Jerry Tillery bolsters a defense that ranked among the AFC's best in 2024, 1-1-1 record. First-round pick Josh Simmons, despite a torn patellar tendon, could solidify the offensive line if he recovers fully, while rookie Omar Norman Lott adds pass rush juice. Vulnerabilities: the Chiefs' 4-0-2-2 Super Bowl licks lost to Philadelphia exposed cracks. The offensive line, especially at left tackle, was a liability, with Jaylon Moore's $30 million deal looking like a pricey gamble for a former backup. Kingsley Suamataya's struggles at guard after a rough rookie year at tackle don't inspire confidence. The receiving core, led by Marquise Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy, lacks a true no-one, and Travis Kelce's age, 36 in 2026, and $20 million cap hit raise questions about his role. Limited draft capital, 3 seventh-round picks, and a gap between picks 133 and 226 restricts their ability to address holes. Posts on X suggest a 65% chance Kansas City wins the division in 2025, but a rebuilding vibe could linger into 2026 if the line and receivers don't step up. The Chargers surge, ready to strike. Strengths: the Chargers are building a juggernaut under Jim Harbaugh, whose first year in 2024 delivered a 1-1-6 record and a playoff berth. Harbaugh's run-heavy, defensive-minded philosophy has transformed Los Angeles into a physical, disciplined unit. Their 2024 defense, led by coordinator Jesse Minter, was the NFL's stingiest, allowing nearly 8 fewer points per game than in 2023. Edge rusher Khalil Mack, 3 sacks early in 2024, and corner Christian Fulton, 19 yards allowed on 10 targets, anchor a unit that can suffocate offenses. Justin Herbert, despite a 2024 ankle injury, is a cornerstone at 28 in 2026. His arm talent and size make him a matchup nightmare, and Harbaugh's ball control offense reduces his exposure to hits. The offensive line, with tackles Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, is among the league's best when healthy, giving Herbert time to exploit defenses. The addition of running back J.K. Dobbins in a revamped run game, per Colin Cowherd, complements Harbaugh's grinded-out style. The 2025 hiring of Pete Carroll as head coach, Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator, and Patrick Graham as defensive coordinator signals a bold commitment to elite coaching. Vulnerabilities: the Chargers' 2025 schedule is a gauntlet, starting with 3 straight divisional games and facing 4 playoff teams in their final 6. A 4-13 record in 2024's hypothetical previous season, per Reddit, suggests inconsistency, and injuries to key players like Alt and Slater have hurt. Herbert's health remains a concern after ankle issues limited him to under 150 passing yards per game early in 2024. The receiving core lacks elite weapons beyond Ladd McConkey, and losing safety Derwin James to suspension in 2024 exposed defensive vulnerabilities. X posts hype a 12-win season in 2025, but failing to split with Kansas City in recent years. Chiefs won 18 of 21 meetings, shows they struggle in clutch moments. The head-to-head key matchups in 2026 quarterback duel, Mahomes vs. Herbert Mahomes holds the edge with 3 Super Bowl rings and a knack for late-game heroics. But Herbert's physical tools and improving supporting cast make this closer than ever. If the Chargers line keeps Herbert upright, his deep ball accuracy could exploit Kansas City's secondary, especially if Fulton moves to the Chiefs. However, Mahomes' ability to win with less talent gives Kansas City a slight advantage. Coaching clash: Reid vs. Carroll. Andy Reid's 25-year track record and 9-0 AFC West title streak dwarf Pete Carroll's fresh start with the Chargers. Carroll's Super Bowl pedigree and defensive expertise paired with Kelly's offensive creativity could tilt the scales if they gel quickly. Reid's ability to scheme around roster flaws keeps him ahead, but Harbaugh's culture, continued by Carroll, makes the Chargers a tougher out. Trenches: offensive line vs. defensive front. The Chargers' offensive line, when healthy, is a strength, but Kansas City's defensive front, led by Chris Jones and rookie Norman Lott, can disrupt. The Chiefs' own line, with Moore and Suamataia, is a weak link that Mack and Joey Bosa could exploit. If Simmons pans out for Kansas City, this evens out, otherwise the Chargers' physicality wins. The 2026 outlook and beyond. Chiefs path: Kansas City's dynasty hungersing, fixing the offensive line and finding a one receiver. Mahomes and Reid can mask deficiencies, but another Super Bowl run requires Moore or Simmons to stabilize left tackle and worthy of rookie Jalen Royals, despite his foot injury, to emerge as a star. The defense, with Jones and Bolton, should remain top tier, but Kelce's potential retirement by 2027 looms large. If the Chiefs nail their 2025 draft, 4 top 100 picks, they could extend their reign, projecting 11 to 13 wins in 2026. Chargers path: the Chargers are built for the long haul. Herbert's prime, a stout defense, and an elite coaching staff position them to challenge for the division. Splitting the Chiefs series in 2025, as some ex-posts predict, would signal progress, but they must overcome their history of wilting in big moments. Adding a top receiver in the 2026 draft or free agency could unlock their offense. A favorable 2026 schedule, avoiding early divisional gauntlets, could push them to 12 to 14 wins. Long-term AFC West landscape: by 2027, the Chiefs' cap constraints and aging stars, killers, guns, could open the door for the Chargers, especially if Herbert stays healthy and Carroll's staff maximizes talent. The Denver Broncos, with a 1-0-7 record in 2024, and the Las Vegas Raiders, under Pete Carroll's former staff, are wild cards but lack the quarterback stability to compete consistently. The Chargers' youth and coaching give them a slight edge for sustained success post-2020. Verdict: who rules in 2026? The Chiefs remain the favorites for 2026, with Mahomes and Reid providing a floor most teams can't match. A projected 1-2-5 record keeps them atop the AFC West, but the gap is narrowing. The Chargers, with a 1-1-6 or 1-2-5 ceiling, could steal the crown if Herbert outduels Mahomes and their defense continues to dominate. Ex-posts like at Joel Murn's 12-win prediction and at the Herd's division title call reflect growing belief in Los Angeles. The September 5th, 2025 matchup in Sao Paulo, Brazil, will set the tone. Travel logistics favor Kansas City slightly, but a Chargers upset could shift momentum. Beyond 2026, the Chargers' trajectory looks brighter if they address their receiving corps and stay healthy. The Chiefs' dynasty isn't dead, but the Chargers are knocking. This rivalry, already electric, is about to become the NFL's fiercest. Buckle up, the AFC West is anyone's game. Sources: